everyone, welcome to day 4 of the 5-day self-love challenge. I'm Alexis.
I'm Yvette.
And we're so happy to have you with us, and we want to check in with you. So tell us in the comments, how are you going, how are you finding the challenge so far, and tell us what you need support with.
Okay, so day 4, I guess that things have been going really well for you. I know, I'm trusting you. So on day 4, today's focus is around self-care. So as per usual, the format is that I'm going to define what self-care is. So self-care is around about how you look after you. So how you look after your mind, how you look after your body, and how you spend time looking after that sweet soul of yours. So, and why is that important? Well, it's important to do self-care in that respect, because if you don't look after your mind, your body and your soul, guess what? You can't extend yourself to anyone else. And I'm sure that you'll have been on let's not make a certainty of it, but if you've been on an aeroplane, you'll see the air hostess saying to you, giving you the directions and so forth. And literally, this is what I often say to clients. If, for instance, you're busy putting your mask on your baby on an aeroplane in the eventuality of an emergency, the chances are that you are going to throw your baby out into the water, and guess what? You're going after. So your baby's down there waiting for mom to come after, when really you need to chuck yourself out first and go wait for your baby. And that's the same with self-care. You need to look after you, and then the rest extends to your family, friends, and whoever you want to give yourself to. So I'm going to hand over to Alexi, and I'm sure she's going to share with you how she's not done self-care and then how she now does self-care.
Absolutely. And I just want to share, like, self-care is so important, right? It's critical, it's necessary, it's required, because if we don't look after ourselves, then we can't look after anybody else. And I've been at a stage where I've been completely burnt out. Yvette, I'm sure you have as well. Mm-hmm. And it's because we haven't put ourselves first. And I know as women that is so incredibly hard, because we're so used to putting everybody else's needs ahead of our own. But it's so important for us to realize that if we don't look after ourselves, we're no good to anybody else. Like, I'm sure that you can understand when I say that, you know, we can get moody, we can get agitated, because if we're not happy on the inside and the outside, then nobody else is around us either. Mm. Especially with kids and families and partners and so on, even
work.
Pets. Yeah, and work. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, my self-care story. So what I've realized is that I can become a bit of a workaholic, right? So if I get really super passionate about what I'm doing, I absolutely love what I'm doing, and I will work on it pretty much 24/7. And then it gets to a stage whereby I'm so burnt out because I haven't been looking after myself, right? Like, I haven't been eating the whole foods, plant-based diet that I usually am eating, which makes me feel really amazing, and it helps me have so much energy. I'm not sleeping because I'm working, and really, really critically important, I'm not going to yoga, because yoga is like my haven, right? Like yoga is my sanctuary. Like, I love doing yoga. I love going for walks. I love being out in nature. And if I'm so focused on what I'm doing, or I'm so busy working or socializing, I don't make time for that, which basically means I don't make time for myself. So now I make it a priority to literally look at my week and book out all the classes that I want to do. So either workout classes at the gym or yoga classes, and then I schedule out my work around those things, just to ensure that I know exactly when I get to work out and how I'm going to look after myself, so I don't get into that yucky, burnt out space.
Okay, thanks for that. Mine is a story around self-care in relation to my mind. So many years ago, I had a different business which required me to work on a weekend, and I would go to work looking at I've only got one child, Jada, who's now 18, but at the time she was 3-4, and I would go to work with this enormous guilt lodged in my stomach. And then she began to hate the work that I was doing. In fact, I began to hate the work that I was doing. And, you know, to cut a long story short, I then changed careers. So when it became time to become a coach, I remember sitting down with really clear boundaries, I suppose. And I said, one of the things that I don't do and I won't be doing is I won't be working after 6 o'clock, and I won't be working on a weekend. Now, realistically, obviously I need to play with those times because, you know, life happens. So if you have got young families or children, the way I managed to get around that was I would know that my working day started at 10 and then I would finish at 3 because then I would need to pick her up. And between 3 and 6 was her time. So I didn't take phone calls, I didn't spend time with doing distracted things. I wasn't on the phone and trying to listen to her. I literally gave her and my husband that time. How do I do that now? It's very similar. On a weekend, I choose not to see clients. I do work on a weekend, which means that the work that I do is related to personal development. So you'll see me on courses. I may do some admin, but again, it's not all day. It's not just willy-nilly time. It's quite structured time. I'll have a cut-off point where I say, right, okay, this is the time I'm going to do this, and now it's time for me. It also means that during the weekend I have my boxing classes, I have my runs, I have my cycle rides, and won't be tired if you're going to try and muscle in on those because you're just not going to get a chance. That's my time, and that's how I feed my mind, my body and my soul. Now I'd like to ask you, what are you doing to feed your mind, your body and your soul? How is it that you're doing self-care for you?